You man, give me a second to just like compose myself here, yeah? Like, I can't understand for the life of me how we are not leaving the gtech community stadium with 3 points at least. I'm still trying to process the last minute equaliser we allowed Brentford to score against us. One long throw-in. No one's taking control of the aerials. And then Carvalho, the late sub, snatching the equaliser. To be fair, I felt like from set piece situations, it felt like we were kind of second best against Brentford. And I guess at the moment, I'm seeing maybe small areas of tiny concern. One, are we controlling these set piece areas? We could be better. Two, it seems like we can be a bit susceptible to that pace in behind. Last week, we got away with it against Fulham. Tonight, we saw Schade getting the first goal of the game. The only attack where Brentford was in our half in 35 minutes of football. And it tells you that these lot were biding their moment. They were waiting for this opportunity. Keith Andrews set them up. They knew what the game plan was. They knew how to kind of nullify us and at least frustrate us at times, yeah? And they were playing for moments, and they scored 2 goals for moments that they fought hard for. Obviously, it's not all doom and gloom. I'm not here to say board out, Maresca out, all this nonsense. Absolutely not. But come on, we can have a discussion about areas of improvement. And I just felt like these are the 2 main areas that we're not completely controlling to the best of our abilities. And we need to get better at that, because you'll get punished in the league. A Brentford team that are losing Visser, losing key attacking players over the last few seasons, starting this game without Damsgaard, who was like a last-minute omission. And we weren't able to take advantage. We find it difficult coming to the stadium. I mean, the last time we picked up 3 points was back in 2021. So it's been quite hard for us to get wins in this stadium, and Brentford proved exactly why. But even though it's frustrating, of course, we can take away a few positives here and there. And obviously the second half performance was a lot better than anything we saw in the first half. Second half, the team went for it. Second half, Maresca was clearly desperate to get us back in the game, and his changes did help us. I got to give my manager credit here. You know, you're starting the second half making a triple substitution. James coming on, certain players coming off as well, and even Cole Palmer making an introduction. I guarantee if we had controlled this game and got like a better leads or better something, I think Palmer comes on for the final 10-15 minutes max. So you knew that we were desperate to get back in this game, and it worked. You felt like the team felt that sense of desperation. And I got to give them credit for the comeback, because again, I've seen certain games where, you know, the last few years, man, a team like Brentford gets the lead, we aren't getting back, and we've kind of lost the game before anything. It had its moments. I just kind of feel annoyed that Moises Caicedo's blaster at the end, because this guy only scores bangers. He only scores bangers, was kind of, I don't want to say for nothing, because we leave here with 1 point, but we didn't get the full justice for that incredible, at the time, last-minute winner. Credit goes out to debut boy in Alejandro Garnacho. And you know what? Let me have this conversation right now. In my transfer window review, I did give Garnacho a higher score than Gittins. And I was mentioning things like the Premier League experience, the fact that he's more ready now. And I kind of feel like when you compare that Garnacho, 15-minute cameo to what we saw from Gittins, who had a very tough game against Caicedo, who could match him for pace. You're not playing against fullbacks like this back in the Bundesliga, yeah? It does feel like maybe Garnacho is maybe better suited at the moment because he has that experience of playing in the league. And he made things happen. He was all clocking those back post runs, right? He was unrelenting. His pace was pretty fast as well. And he was playing these intelligent cut-back crosses to the box for players to take shots off with. He did that every single time. He chased lost causes and got on the end of them, saving potential moves for us. It was a promising performance. And hopefully if this guy can maybe get that match fitness, which Maresca is building up in him right now, because obviously his pre-season was affected with all the drama happening at Man United. It does feel like Garnacho could be a more ready-made option for that left-hand side. Gittins wasn't awful. I just feel like he maybe needs a bit more time. I felt like there was one move I kept clocking in the first half. It was like the only move we had in us to try and play through Brentford, and that was quickly releasing Gittins in behind on the left-hand side. At times, I felt like the final ball was a bit short here and there. But other times, I felt like maybe Gittins was a bit short here. He was a bit short mentally. I felt like he wasn't clocking the rhythm of his teammates. He wasn't getting in front of Caicedo fast enough to get on the end of these balls. Because if there was better quality in these moments, there was a few opportunities to get through that Brentford defensive line. But it didn't really come. And I felt like Gittins had a very frustrating game. And it was interesting that he got subbed off pretty early for a Tyreek George to come on. And, you know, Tyreek, I kind of feel for him. In my opinion, it would have been interesting to see him playing the more attacking mid-role. I think that encapsulates his best qualities in his game, right? Because for me, he doesn't have the pace to play out wide on the left, and he doesn't have the physicality to play up front. And if anything, he's just playing these roles to be an option to make his teammates better. And I don't think that Tyreek George is that Neto-style guy that can do the teamwork to elevate his teammates. I don't think he's in that mold. And I'm going to sound a bit cynical, but low-key, he's looking like a Christo Nkunku regen in the sense that Nkunku had no real use at this football club. So that was interesting to see. I want to get maybe one more annoying thing out of my mind too. And obviously, I didn't agree with Enzo Maresca taking off Joao Pedro. If there was one decision that he got wrong in this game, it was that, in my opinion. I need to give him credit because the subs put us back in the game. It turned the dimensions around. We came back with new energy. You can't dismiss that. But I'm just thinking, in a game like this where it is tight, why are you taking off a Joao Pedro? It's a bit mean, but I probably would have just taken off Tyreek George again, realistically, because, bro, even that final moment where we allowed the equaliser against us, if we had Joao Pedro there with his heading ability, yeah, that would have been a better help for the team in that moment. Like, even seeing the replay of how we lack control for the equaliser, you know, Caicedo's got his body away from play. You know what I mean? Everyone's looking panicked. No one's in control. And from a throw-in too, bro. A throw-in, yeah? I actually am still computing what I'm seeing. But from a throw-in, it's absolutely ridiculous. And we kind of just ruined all the good work we did in that second half. To get ourselves back in the game, man. Obviously, it's a reaction. You feel it in the moment. We all want to win. We want to have a great start to the season. We want to do something in the Premier League right now. This is what our expectations are as fans. And, you know, when you have moments of control and you let it slip, you know, it hurts a little bit. I'm not going to lie. But you know what? Let's also discuss more positives. Two big ones, in my opinion. Cole Palmer and I think Robert Sanchez. I'll get Sanchez out of the way. I thought Sanchez was brilliant for us in goal. And there was one thing he constantly kept doing and doing and doing. He kept us in the game with key saves and decisive moments. That is what you want to see from your keeper between the sticks at this level. Yeah, after the equaliser, look how he got low. Quick footwork to make sure that that deflected shot of Schade didn't just rustle in the back of the net. When we made it 2-1, look how big he was claiming balls, yeah? Making fingertip saves. Like, being a presence inside the books. Like, he's so key for us. And credit to him for continuing to show this resurgence and this improvement in his game. And hopefully he maintains this, because he's kept this consistency now for at least the last 4 months. And he was really good today. But obviously, the difference maker that gave us new oomph in our game second half was Cole Palmer. He really is our best player. The guy comes on like barely any time. He bagged like, 5 shots? Listen, I can forgive Cole Palmer because he's been injured. It's his first game coming back. Because there was 2 moments that he should have buried, yeah? Obviously, the first goal he scores, again, credit to Joao Pedro. I mean, bro, that's what I mean by Pedro not ending the game. Did you see how this guy made contacts with the Brentford defence to just cushion that header down to the path of Cole Palmer? And Cole Palmer just nonchalantly just hits that bottom left corner in one step. World-class goal. But then Palmer then had his moments after that. Could have made it 2-1 for us a bit earlier. A bit of play from Pedro Neto, a bit of fortune with a deflection, burst into space, carrying that ball forward, running towards goal. And then he makes the right decision this time by using the outside of his boot to play that cut back into the path of Cole Palmer. And I think if this is a Cole Palmer that didn't have any injuries, yeah, this guy is making it 2-1 with a similar type of goal. That was his bread and butter, and for a player that good, he should have scored. And obviously, near the end, of course, Garnacho, really good play. I just felt like Palmer has the ability to, get that effort on target at least from the acute angle. We've seen him do that before. He has that. He was leaning back a bit too much. It was a bit frustrating. But yeah, man, it's annoying that we aren't leaving here with 3 points. It's not necessarily doom and gloom. We did learn about the team in the first half that some of these guys need a bit more time. I'm not surprised by that. Jarrell Hato, hopefully I'm getting his name right, you guys. I know you guys are sticking it on me in the comment section saying Hato all the time. I don't know why. It just sounds good in my head. I don't know why. But obviously after getting that yellow cards, I think Maresca didn't want to maybe put him under more pressure with him possibly getting another one. Correct move in my opinion. You want to bring a bit more... you want to take the pressure away from the team in the second half. So he had to come off. He wasn't bad, but I just felt like obviously it's his first game. He needs a bit of time. Maybe seeing what he does against Lincoln City would allow him to adjust to things a bit more. First half too, using a completely new left-hand side of it, like Trevor Jalaba, Hato and Gittins. There wasn't any of that rhythm, which you could see from the first half to the second half. There was a direct comparison. And look at the quality difference when you saw Palmer drifting to the left-hand side. Garnacho timing his runs in behind, giving us an injection of pace, and Cucurella knowing how to seamlessly move into an attacking mid situation to pin a man to free space for Garnacho. At the moment, Cucu, Palmer and Garnacho is probably that left-hand side, and when Palmer has to play there, of course, that is our best left-hand side. So there was little details. I think that may be explained why we were very flat in the first half, very tepid, and every time we tried to release the left-hand side to break through and play against Brentford, they were falling short time and time again. I'm not angry with Maresca. I respect the fact that we have Bayern Munich next week. We need to prepare for that. You want to keep the big boys fresh and ready, and this is why we had the window we had, to ensure we have 2 players in every position so we know how to manage playing in the Champions League and competing in the Premier League. Of course, at the moment, you're relying upon like the Chelsea Galacticos, the star guys and your Jameses, Palmers and Coes to be in the team to influence what we do in the league. Did we maybe buy enough experience we could confidently use like a different team in the league midweek before, midweek weekends before we play midweek games in the CL? Probably not at this point in time, because some of these, man, need a bit more time. I got patience for Gittins, I got patience for Hato, I got patience for a few of these guys because I accepted what would come when you're investing this young into the team. It's a shame we didn't have Esteval. The kid was ill. He would have been a big difference for us. We've seen what he does with his carrying threat and ability and how he just kind of connects the attack a little bit, but how he just drifts inside and causes a lot of havoc. Missing out on him is a shame, but you'd imagine this kid's going to be back in time, yeah, for Bayern Munich. And you're thinking to yourself, maybe, what, Esteval, Palmer, Garnacho against Bayern? Let's see. I say that because I thought Neto, of course, very industrious, but it's weird. I still feel like on the left-hand side, he makes a bit more sense. Just for balanced reasons for the team, but also because he doesn't really get enough shots off. Like, he had a moment when, he had one of the best touches of the entire game, coming inside, pace boost away from Pinnock. You had to square the ball to Joao Pedro. I hate when our strikers do the right things. use their brain, withdraw their runs, create space to take shots in the box, and teammates aren't finding them. That should be your first instinct now, not taking shots, man. You don't take enough of them, and you're inconsistent with the finishing. And I just thought this performance today was, you know, he tried hard as always, but also a bit mid at times, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really curious to see, by the time the season ends, who is winning that winger battle at the moment. Could it be Garnacho left, Esteval right side? We'll find out as the season goes on, my friends. But anyway, that's it for tonight. 2-2 draw against Brentford. At least we didn't lose the game, but low-key, it kind of feels like one. When you equalize, no, when you had the winner, yeah, when you took the lead right near the end, and then blew it, and let it go to waste. So leave your thoughts and opinions. Get involved in the conversation. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Cool.